Welcome back to Endless Space 2. I'm Matt, and I'm continuing my playthrough of the Lumeris. I'm still quite jittery. I've been watching the World Chess Championship, and the first match, the first game has been surprisingly intense. It's normally a draw. But anyway, we're not here to play chess, we're playing Endless Legend. And I'm just gonna search his curiosity. Endless Space 2, oh my god. They're basically the same game, come on. And they're quite different, but obviously by the same developer. A lot of overlap and a lot of cross-pollination between the two games. Like, Influence is a mechanic introduced in Endless Legend, but it's one that has a big bearing on how Endless Space 2 is played. And I realized that, unfortunately, I didn't save at the correct time, so I think I still have to force peace with them. Yeah. Sometimes I forget to save at the end of my session, so I load back to the latest stage. So I'm just going to continue from there. It happens. I mean, as the YouTube viewership, as the viewers, you might be a bit confused about that sometimes, but also you get a bit of a reminder of what happened in the previous session. And that was this significant social, or foreign political move of forcing peace. Now, forcing peace is sort of low-key the best thing about pacifists. Well, often the basic law is quite impactful, right? But forcing peace is really strong, and a lot of factions that play, economically, kind of want this ability, actually. It's just... I don't know how to describe it. At the cost of one law slot, it gives you the ability to, not have to worry about warfare. At least until they generate enough influence to try and declare war on you anyways, But basically it's like a defense mechanism where you're using influence to defend yourself and not warships. Which is kind of huge because as an economic faction you want to avoid spending on military because it's not helping you get more economy. So, yeah, force peace is, I think, really kind of an MVP for the factions that start with it. It's not maybe something you want to branch off into. Unfolded, no pun intended. It's maybe not something you want to... Actually, I wanted to send the ship down here. But I guess I might as well search this curiosity now that I'm here. Yeah, that was a small error. Whatever. So, force peace is deceptively powerful, I think. And if you are playing a pacifist faction, definitely force peace on everyone except the Cravers. Because it's... Or, at least figure out that most factions will warm to you if they're at peace with you, and your relations will improve. And even against human players, it's a way to defend yourself, without actually having to build ships, which is pretty cool. I really like that the game gives pacifist players the option to play their way, You're not obliged to make military like in other games, like Endless Legend. And I really think this pacifist law or the pacifist main law, this right thing rule, is brilliant design. Because, in general, the fact that influence is there, which prevents declaration of war without consequences, is also great design because it gives non-military factions a way to defend themselves and/or exert pressure on other empires, which is necessary, obviously. But, yeah. So basically, long story short. I really enjoy pacifist play styles, and I really enjoy that they're well supported in this game as opposed to other 4Xs I played. Yeah, or general strategy games I played. Now we could try and change law types. We would lose right thing rule. Let's see hardship ready. Hardship ready would be good, I guess, but we can also just get technologies. The Oracle of Science is strong. But also, these effects are very powerful. The Make Love Not War is really good if we have peace with lots of people. It can compensate for expansion disapproval very effectively. And if we're in an alliance, we're getting an obscene amount of happiness out of this if we're at peace with more than one faction. Trust the brokers, not very effective, I don't think. I rather want to be doing something economically proactive than saving influence in the long term. And it's also costing us influence every turn, so it might not even save us that much influence. It's sort of deceptive because of this upkeep cost. This upgrade is just kind of garbage. My pressures is something I'm interested in, though. Bonus dust is very important for us. Then it also increases our luxury count, which is nice for Jade Onyx, obviously. And anything we could sell is again nice for us because we depend so much on dust. And this fair trade wheel is excellent. So this pacifist skill tree, or law tree, I should say, is, I think, very, very powerful and maybe worth building up. I mean, I'm not sure if there's any other tree that gives us that much dust, actually. Not really, actually. This gives us bonus dust. So that's kind of interesting. Wait, why not working? Oh, I can't click on them, my bad. Although, yeah, I guess religious is kind of interesting, but we're not going to force it through anyways. And I didn't save up dust for lobbying. I mean, cheating in elections seems like a very Lumeris thing to do. I'm like overly pessimistic about this cartel-run society. Oh, we did get the religious. Interesting. I'm not even sure how that happened. Completely random. So, species stability is actually kind of interesting because it gives us a big shot on the arm in terms of dust production. And only Lumeris increasing is not terrible because Lumeris are a pretty solid population type. They're strong at generating dust. So I'm kind of actually interested in picking up the racist law there. I say the racist law because species stability is... let's just read it, okay? Only your starting population can increase. Yeah, and it's controlling the population growth of other races or species or whatever, which is pretty close to genocide, actually. Like, for instance, forcing... yeah, actually, I think the definition of genocide includes not allowing people of a certain ethnic group or perceived group to reproduce, which is like... So yeah, that's fucked up. But it's still good for our empire, so I might use it. I need to send probes down here because if they are... We picked up Jade Onyx. Okay, good. Even more Jade. How much Jade Onyx is there? I feel like with Jade Onyx, either like I get none of it and then I'm sad because I miss Jade Onyx and its powerful effects, or I get like all of it and I'm just flooded. Also, Jade Onyx is a bit misleading because when you have Jade Onyx, I feel like you're doing a lot. You can do a lot better than if you don't. So it feels kind of imbalanced. I don't know if it's imbalanced in a broad sense because every faction has access to Jade Onyx, right? But it's kind of imbalanced in the sense that it feels like when you have Jade Onyx, you just kick ass. When you don't, it's kind of like, alright, a bit underwhelming compared to that. I don't know, I feel like Jade Onyx and I feel like some luxuries are just way more powerful than others. And not only because the resources they give are better, but maybe sometimes because they just give more stats. So I do kind of want this extra law slot. Partly because if we get rid of Toys for Boys, for instance, we can pick up a new law in species stability, but we can also pick up Make Love Not War. I guess at the moment we don't need it. As you can see, we're generating a ton of extra dust. So the species stability law is racist AF, but also effective AF. Yeah. Sadly, I guess I don't know what the story element is. I'm suddenly given into the like horrible people. Who are even religious in my empire? Who are even religious there? Are they grammars? They honor it. How do they even win the Is there a random element to the selection thing? Although, as you can see, the bonus, population bonus for our faction is pretty solid. I mean, the amoeba give bonus food, but we give bonus dust on fertile, and we definitely do care a lot about dust. Okay, somebody is going to discover the academy over here. We're not going to do that, it's too far away. We kind of hope that the academy gets discovered, but also, if we keep generating this amount of dust, we can at some point think about picking up the academy substitute in the mercenary section of the marketplace. And that's pretty nice. Oh, I actually forgot to pick up a new planet on my main system. Did I? No, I didn't. Is this... I think this is definitely better than our main planet. Although, our populations are better on fertile. So the question is, do we want to pick this up first? And I think we want to pick up the colony first. Sorry if I just lapsed and didn't think about that. That was not as efficient as it could have been, basically. Not the end of the world. We probably want drain network first to help this planet grow. We can also think about picking up colonial exchange randomly on all our planets. It's better on sterile though. But a little bit of extra dust is not bad. Sustainable farms also, it's better on hot or cold planets, which we don't really have here. But it is also like just 10 bonus food at a relatively low cost, so that's very nice. I mean, obviously drone networks is better, but at the same time, yeah, you need food upgrades. They're not exciting, but just, I don't know. I just have to sort of accept that. Even though food upgrades are underpowered, doesn't mean you can't do without food. Let's look over here. I just wanted to check. No, I still need like 800 or 750 to get a new colony. We can go in this direction. I seem to have like misplaced my other socks somehow. So I'm laughing because like somehow during the excitement of watching chess, like that happened to me. Like, oh boy. I feel like this is sort of like when you know you're a nerd moment. Although chess is awesome. Just okay. We're gonna. Oh, they're already good with yellow, but hopefully we can ninja them. Because the problem with yellow is, I mean, the problem with Unfallen is they can't actually get new colonies via impressing minor civilizations very easily. So the thing is, it's hard to like. You have to basically use their special mechanism of colonization. So the Unfallen move vines over to new systems. And they need vines around minor factions before they can actually convert them using the quest. So even though the Unfallen are nearby and they could pump influence into these minor factions, they're not really threatening to take them very quickly. And that means that we have enough time to pick them up. Now, maybe I want to pick up another colony first. You know, that's possible. That's possibly even the correct choice. But I guess for now... I mean, let me just wait till I get the quests from these ones. And if I can pick them up quickly. But then I might already be at my limit. And then I might not be that interested in this one. And we already have a lot of planets spread out, so, you know. Here's actually a location where we could make a colony here, and it wouldn't be connected to our other colonies via star lanes, meaning that we wouldn't have to. It wouldn't cost us food; it would just cost us dust. So that's an interesting choice. Now we have things to build on our systems, right? Let me just double check. Yeah, we can get this intensive if we really need to build something on our main system. One benefit of having... We should also get the Xeno, and also actually get this new planet before we get that. Because each planet gives you basic output. Like, this gives us basic 10 industry output, so it's basically like getting another drone networks, if you could think of it that way. Which is a pretty decent upgrade here, which we're kind of interested in. And we want sustainable farms more here, because this is a hot planet, so it's giving us 15 food, which is reasonably substantial. Now, it'll take us 2 more turns to be able to get a new outpost, which we then have to support further. The species stability is actually doing a ton of work for us. But maybe I should actually save up dust in future Lumeris games just to influence the election to go for this. Though it feels to me, I don't know the mechanics behind elections, so they feel a little bit random to me sometimes. Now, this Academy Embassy, is not very good. I recommend not building this ever. Basically, I think buying heroes in the marketplace is almost always better. And if you have to build this to get your heroes like 20% faster, it's not even that powerful. Denark University is okay. It's very industry intensive though, and our faction is not very good with industry. Botanical scanning is okay. Like, the reason I want to pick these skills up is so I can get the movement bonus in the civilian ships, but more importantly, an extra law slot. And I guess there are some interesting laws, like we can get bonus dust, for instance. We could get the bonus Cram Exam Act. I don't know why this doesn't work here. Anyway. But we can get Super Tax Act, for instance. We get Toys for Boys, or Make Love Not War, depending on what we need. And currently we're still at Devoted, but this system isn't at Devoted, for instance. That probably means that we want a super market at some point. Probably like after the sustainable farms. Anyway, so it's possible that I want an additional law in the near future. And it's not like these are bad texts to get. Like, better ships are not bad. Botanical scanning is not bad. Maybe this eukaryotic sap is more of a priority, because bonus happiness in all of our planets will let us get happiness we need faster. And also this baronic shielding is interesting. Also, bonus curiosity is not the worst. Basically, eukaryotic sap is valuable just because of this Applied Happiness program, which gives you +5 happiness on planets, meaning that you can easily get like 10, 15, maybe even 20 bonus happiness on your systems without actually having to invest industry in those systems, which is immensely valuable. Whenever you can get something for free in almost every game, it's great if that thing is worth having. And that's why frequently in lots of games, 3 things are like aggressively valued quite lowly. Or like, grammar. Aggressively valued very low, like valued down. Like if you play card games like Hearthstone or Magic or something, like very cheap things tend to be very weak or ineffective compared to uncheap of things that are less cheap, because the cheap things have greater tendency to be broken because they give you something without having to invest resources. Or here we're only investing science. We're basically building infinite supermarkets in our systems, which is like we're saving industry in that way. Also gives us other useful things, like the fleet movement is okay. The colonized snow is something we want to pick up anyways. So I do like this. It's basically like getting an extra law slot without actually getting the actually getting the law slots. So that's neat. And that's probably why I want this eukaryotic sap. It's just a good upgrade, to be honest. And also we unlock this extra deed, extra curiosities. Not bad. We can also pick up trade companies, though that might be a bit premature. We have to build them, remember. And then we don't even have the system set up where we want to put our subsidiary. So yeah, trade company is probably a bit early. But it's definitely something we want in the long term. In the meantime, I'm just going to bank my dust. I probably want to try and complete these quests in the near future. Or get a new planet, or both. Unless we get a ton of extra dust production. I think I want a new planet before I try and impress these people. Because, I mean, I just want to see how the other minor civilizations turn out, right? If we grab too many planets, we'll have expansion disapproval, but in that case I guess we can just pick up the extra law slot and get more happiness via Toys for Boys. Again, horrible name, law. I guess it rhymes, but like, come on. Like, only boys like toys. Ridiculous. Oh, this is run out over here. We should probably reapply. Now, that means that, in how many turns does this switch? In 4 turns. Am I fine waiting 4 turns? Yes, I think so. Here, this will last another 5 turns. We're definitely getting to 50. 50 is the magic number and unlocks this assist quest. So always go for 50 and not over, not under. Yeah, and you want to do the math on this because you want to stack bribes, or this case for us is bribes because we rely on dust. But you basically want to stack bribes, influence or dust bribes, on the same turn so that they all come off, like they all stop working on the same turn. And you don't have to reapply them in an awkward staggered way, which is overall less efficient. Basically, bribing costs more if you're already gaining influence with them. So, you know, you want to do it all at once and not at all. It's just kind of how the maths works though. Okay, there's a quest to assimilate these guys. We're about to pick up this planet with mutated flora. Makes us happier, and also gives us bonus food. On a planet type which makes people less happy in general, so... Oh, so it looks like those things just balance that out. That's nice. What does J-Domics even do? Advanced tool and machines. Okay. So we're going to pick up that other planet as well. And I think, like... I mean, I'm not sold on xenotourism agencies. I don't think it's generally that great of an upgrade, but we do really value dust. Like, to a fault. There's a system. See what their quest is. Raise militarist support to at least 30% in 2 systems. Okay, let's double check. How good is militarist support? Right. Doesn't look that great. We're gonna have to do... Yeah, that seems a bit tricky to do. We could try and bribe them into liking... that came out dodgy. We could try and bribe them again. And go for it that way. In one turn when this comes off. So this quest is actually quite difficult to do. Although I'm wondering, is there any planet I'd rather pick up rather than trying to impress minor civilizations? The advantage of impressing minor civilizations with dust, as I've been talking a lot in these last couple of turns, the advantage of trying to impress minor civilizations with dust is that in that way we're getting planets which are already decently well set up. Like here, this planet will already have population and already have upgrades and stuff, so it's in some ways more valuable than a new outpost. And there's only so many we can get before happiness starts taxing. Although we can get laws to mitigate that, so yeah. All's fair. I almost want to prioritize dust here. The infinite supermarket does also prioritize dust, so. Oh, I need new technology. I was saying I wanted an extra law slot, and I think I will go for it. Not least because we can pick up this booster program. National Museum. Okay, no, this is maybe less impressive than I thought it was, because I was playing UE, and this upgrade is better with UE. Though weirdly, UE doesn't need it because it's a federation. But we can pick up, you know, the ability to make alliances. Actually, there's not that much that's impressive at this point. the main thing, weirdly, the Empire Development Plan, or the Empire Development tree, is weirdly at this stage just better for military than for anything else, because these hunter ships and these coordinator ships are miles and away better than these starting ships, or these first tier ships, I guess. And generally that holds for any kinds of ships. Like, ships just keep getting better and better. This wide market bonus on this is like a play on black market. Yeah, that's interesting. So major factions give us bids bonus. It's pretty solid. So I don't know. I was just like looking at this upgrade. We don't have to use this in the near future. Anyway, we also have to think about a quest reward at some point. We want to be producing a lot of dust in the system. Let's actually move this over here. Make sure our Lumeris populations are on that planet. Actually, our main planet is better than the other planets, I think. Let's keep population here. Although we can move them over there for the extra dust, although... Yeah, we will do that. They'll get more dust over here because of the Jadonics, and they'll continue getting decent dust over here because of the fertile. So that's fine. What was I saying? Oh yeah, our quest award. Sorry, I'm just a bit scatterbrained at the moment. No, not friend or food. I'm so sorry, friends, but you became food. Our quest reward gives us this black tax authority, which is pretty sick if we can collect a lot of minor faction home systems. So we actually do want as many of these as we can pick up because it will improve our dust production in our home system. I still don't know if it's worth investing a ton into Merope to get it. Actually, now that I think about it, if I'm playing against the Unfallen, it's going to take them a while to vine over this. So I might as well go for it. The question is how much will it take us to get to 50? Good lord, double math. Actually, this much. It will take, within 10 turns, we'll be at 60. Or at 50. So it's fine. It's obviously uncomfortable to set this back by a turn. But it's just a turn, right? It's not the end of the world. And I guess the supermarkets is... Okay, here I'm just going to get this. This is going to give us extra dust. This bonus industry and food is not as impressive as extra dust for us. We're really all about dust, in case you hadn't picked it up. See, we forced peace, and now they like us. That's just how forced peace works against the AI. Which is really refreshing coming back from playing Endless Legend. Where on Endless difficulty, no matter what, the AI thinks you're a chump and is willing to pounce on you whenever it gets the chance. So it's nice, you know, to have people who, you know, don't want to kill me. I'll just explain it. Yeah, now we're getting extra dust here. Still not enough to whip, like... Yeah, so that'll give us extra dust. Still not enough to trigger this quest. How much do we need on our system? 150 per turn in one of our systems. Yeah. I guess I want food first, and food will naturally increase our population, which will naturally improve our dust production. By, I think, like, I don't know, from the bonuses, like at least 5 per population. Yeah, and also we have the species stability, so it's actually going to help a lot more than that. So I think we'll just get these food upgrades, they'll improve the populations here. We do actually want this desert at some point, because sterile will help us. No, wait, I think, is it hot? No, colonial exchange works on sterile. Man's not sterile. Anyway, sterile will help us generate increased dust production with these colonial exchange thingies. Yeah, if we want it. We don't need them right away. I mean, getting desert is not... I'm just like a basic terraforming. What does that do? Okay, I'm sort of into that. I kind of do want this at some point. Although we could also go for ash planets. Give us the bone or lava planets. Give us this AI labor, public 3D printing. I struggle to pronounce things. It's basically my channel. And a lot of helpful tips on strategy games, right? Don't get me wrong. Lava planets are just it's actually great for industries, so I might actually want those instead. What are desert planets good for? Let's look it up. The thing is, we unlock 2 planets, as opposed to 1. Desert planets are pretty sick for... Looks like they're good for dust or what. I don't know. Let's look at our other systems, see what's worth getting. So here's another desert. Okay, atoll. We can colonize this. So that system is fine without the desert. And Lyra is... also has lava. Okay. Okay, it convinced me. Lava it is. Also, AI labor is a good perk on its own. You can get a luxury lottery, but this is very expensive and very underwhelming unless you're playing a ratio, and even then it's very expensive and very underwhelming. Yeah, okay, I'm into this. I'm gonna get the lava planet. Hopefully at some point I'll have enough dust that I can just ditch into governors with impactless sites. At some point I will, but right now I'm content, I think. Yeah, look, they're going the wrong way in terms of vining. They're going this way. Maybe, okay, maybe they have already started vining there. It looks like they have. But they're not vining here. I don't know if the AI understands how to vine properly with the Unfallen. Maybe it just doesn't matter because of how, like, strong the AI is in other ways. We're about to move over here and then we can just research all these curiosities. That should be nice. So I do actually want to get the ability to jump between star lanes. Like Baryonic shielding thing was pretty solid. Oh, I forgot to check the. Alright, here. This is the Pickup Technology Center. It's a strong building, don't get me wrong. But yeah. So now we picked up this reward. Somehow. Oh, I guess our population increased and knocked us above the tier. That's pretty cool. Oh, this thing happened. We randomly got a Harisham, yeah. Random Harishams coming from random places. Oh, and we got a colony on Lyra, and we completed the quest. Okay, a lot has happened this turn. So, now we need to get a... I think it's influence the government or something. As you can see. Toasting to business deals and stuff. Now, we can either influence the governments with this... I mean, we get special laws by doing this, basically. We influence the governments to be industry or trade friendly. Trade friendly gives us a huge happiness increase per company headquarters on systems. The problem with this is you only can have one company headquarter on a system from trade routes. So it's only going to be 15 happiness or maybe like 4 planets. I think we have 1 extra trade route. Or trade route headquarters. So instead of 3 planets, that's going to be 4 planets at some point. And it's going to cost us influence. So that's not an impressive law, I don't think. If we can easily get another law, which gives us 30 bonus happiness, for example, at no influence cost, or other laws, which are going to give us, like the... Let me just show you. Other laws, like the Make Love Not War, which is going to give us maybe in the ballpark of like 50 plus happiness at the cost of 2 influence on all of our planets. So this is not impressive. I'd rather have this. Pay it forward, which gives us bonus industry on ecstatic. And 25% is no joke. Especially if we're not really industry... yeah, we're not really industry-orientated faction. We can really use the boost. Let me just put on my sock. Oh boy. So, industry-friendly requires us to have industrialists as one of our leading parties. And... that's really not that difficult, I don't think. I mean, okay, it is annoying to have to try and influence the elections of dust production or whatever. But this is a meaningful reward, I think, so I'm just going to go with that. Like, bonus industry is something I always like. And the other one is kind of garbage, so that makes it easier, you know. Now, we can get the Xeno here. And I think we should. I mean, Monsoon is temperate, so it's only going to give us 20. So, oh, actually, never mind. I should get the level 2 upgrade first. And then we can get drone networks and then Xeno. In some order. Yeah, again, Jadonix. So good. Jadonix is truly wonderful. We can reactivate this. For a dust cost, we can get the colony up and running in 3 turns as opposed to 5 turns. So we're basically spending 350 dust to get it up in turn 2 turns earlier. Or we can just make a new colony. I kind of want to, actually. Yeah, I think I do. The main advantage of this system is that it's not actually in the... it's not actually connected to our main system, so it won't cost our main system's food production. But I'm just, maybe I'm too blinded by that effect. Maybe I should just double check that there aren't any better systems. Like, this Tundra is solid too. Here now, we have a Arid. Okay, but it has a negative. That's a pretty serious negative, actually. Wait, let me go back. So, high gravity makes us have reduced science, happiness, and industry. Pretty bad, I think. Those are all important things. This gives us Shadonix, though. Yeah, I'm interested in that. Let me just double check that I have to get this quest here. Why does it cost more? Okay, there's a mercenary fleet nearby. We don't have ships yet. But we could generate ships. And this is a decent reward. Although we're still getting a lot of influence points with them. Or bribe points, I guess. And next turn we can assist them too. So having assisted them, I should have double checked that assisting them doesn't prevent me from doing this. That was a slight error. It could have. Well, it was no error because it turns out it didn't matter. But it's something I should have thought about. You know, small things. Okay, we gained bonus food from having this system. It's great. So, I do want this. Gas warm is nice. Eventually. And we're about to pick up these, like, gas planets and stuff. This is not a bad system, and this is definitely a good planet, especially because of the Jade Onyx. There's so much Jade Onyx, it's kind of disgusting. Okay. I took myself into it. Now, we could spend extra dust there, and I think we will. Or we could spend extra dust here. Yeah, but I think we can wait on this planet. Let me just search curiosities here. This is a level... Okay, needs 2. Where is the extra expedition power? Is this it? Is this it? Yeah, this is the quiet upgrade. Maybe we should get that. We don't need the... Oh, we do need the extra lore. Maybe we get that in that order. And maybe we hold back on the lava planets. Because expedition power is neat. It doesn't cost us much and also lets us send our explorer in this direction. And also other ships in this direction. Like we're gonna have to, at some point or other, attack this fleet if we want to get this minor civilization. Or we can just dump extra bribe money into them, but you know, that's expensive, so... Probably less expensive than building some ships. Let's check out there. Even more Jade Onyx. Okay, this gives us some resources. Might be worth doing. No, probably not before I pick up this upgrade. Because there's another thing I can check here. Right? There's actually multiple things I can check here. As soon as I have expedition fleet power 2. So we just wait for a couple of turns. Get that upgrade, then pick up these things. And we have blue cup mold in the system? Nice. Where? On this planet. Yeah, definitely colonizing that as soon as I can. I like blue cup mold. And also these two quests mesh pretty nicely. So we need to improve militarist support, but we need to build warships to attack this. So yeah, that's pretty good. Just check that I know what they're good at. They're better at defending against like projectile weaponry, but they're also shooting projectile weaponry. So if we use projectile weaponry defenses and lasers, we should have a good time against them. I will pick up this first though. This is nice too. I do desperately want a new planet. If I keep improving my food production. So I will go for that. Maybe I should go for extra science upgrades first. So. These are important. Ugh, decisions. Speaking of, I should have decided. I always say speaking of, but they're like completely unrelated. Or I've noticed that about this show, I guess, or my YouTube. I guess it's sort of you just develop these habits just to keep talking. It's like a very weird thing to do, actually, if you think about it. Like talk in front of an audience who's like not there or doesn't interact with you. It's something. I think it's sort of something I have to like train myself a bit to do, or at least I'm trying to do that. I'm just going to pick up both these places. Acceleration. Because it just generates their colonies faster. It's worth the dust. Yeah, it's just sort of, it's kind of weird how that's not, how difficult it is. Because you're so used to conversations or being maybe talked to by people in the media, like you watch TV or something, you know, and there's a reporter or something. But just talking to random things, like non-stop, or random things as new viewers. But talking to someone who's not interacting with you is actually, I think, surprisingly strange. Anyway. I suspect this quest is kind of hard to do. So I might just go for bribes here. I have the extra dust from the production, so yeah. Yeah, and now I can wait for 10 turns and then pick them up. Like, no ways is yellow gonna spread this far in 10 turns. Like, yeah, Unfallen tend to expand very slowly at the start of the game. Kind of like trees, you know. Like, they are trees. This is a very thematic faction. Very bad at sort of quickly asserting their position on the map. Very good in the long term, though. Like, you should check out my playthrough. I actually won extremely quickly with that faction. As within 108 turns, which I think is really fast. Like, or at least for me, it's really fast. I've spent a lot of time talking and feeling my way through this. Okay, we have to get a new population type and we'll get some influence as a reward. Not bad. Oh no! I've run out of cattle. Probably shouldn't have killed them all. Whoops. Alright. We can assist them. Hopefully their quest will be easy to do. Before I do that, let me check how much it takes to get a new planet. More than we currently have. I think I should assist. Have 3 or more active laws. Ugh. These quests have actually been kind of difficult. Picking up active... So we're going to need this. But then where is the next active law slot? Like here? It's going to be quite difficult to do. Yeah, where is actually the next active law slot? Like, is it here? Nope. This is weird. Upgrade. I never really think about this because I'm not good with politics in this game. But it might actually be good to improve the ability to influence election results. Might even be good for us because that's kind of what we want to do. Yeah, it looks like the next law slot is really over here, in which case we have to go back to that minor civilization and impress the shit out of them. Yeah, that came out wrong. Yeah, actually, if we get... No, we need to get them all the way to 100. The most efficient way of doing that is waiting again. We always wait till the praise bonus has stopped working, and then bribing is less expensive, although it takes more time to do that. I was thinking that the quest would be easy to do, but I've kind of messed myself up because it wasn't. Now we'll be at 68 in a couple of turns, and then 32 is like... That's reasonably easy to do with extra bribes. And it will take us like 8 turns, so 14 turns to pick this up with extra money. At that point, we should have enough money production to get that going. Again, the species stability, although morally abhorrent, has been doing quite a lot of work for us. Pirates. Speaking of morally abhorrent, you assets, leave me alone. Yeah, this is still fine. Again, I would have liked the quests like a little bit easier, but yeah, you can't always get what you want. I'm just gonna have to spend dust to get them, I think. And I will, because I want those locations for the Black Tax Authority. But yeah. Wait, I got a new population bonus? And I got a new law slot. Let's look at both of those. We get bonus to pacifists, alright. We get bonus dust production, alright. And we ignore blockades on trading routes. Alright. Like, there are 3 different senses of alright there. Okay, let me be a bit more precise. So, the first alright, okay, bonus to pacifist ideology, not impressive, but each faction has its non-impressive thing. And then we have the bonus to dust production, which is pretty nice, which is my alright, you know. And then we have this, which is like, okay, I'm not sure how to use this. I guess the main thing is that we never have blockades again, and blockades are irritating. But, you know, again, I didn't value trading routes too much. Now, we kind of want to boost this back into ecstatic. So I can consider just popping toys for boys. We can also go for Super Tax Act for bonus dust production. Let's actually try that out, see how terrible. Oh, never mind, this is easy because I forgot to count the main... Oh my, I spent so much time thinking that was impossible. Then I completely forgot to count the main law. I thought like 3 extra laws. So yeah, that was an easy quest. Like I was saying all along. So we're actually not even getting extra dust from the Super Tax Act. So that is a disappointment. I just had to check it though, because I I'm very bad at simulating those things. Now we actually have some warships. And I'm almost wondering if we can move those warships over here to do that quest for us, but these ships kind of suck, so I think I'll rather sell them. Yeah, so Super Tax Act, not actually impressive, so that's good to know. What is impressive is that we have a new system. It's really decently set up already. I mean, they're living on this planet, so their happiness is like pretty shit, but otherwise pretty good, pretty good. Maybe they even want Arctic. Where is the Arctic? Here it is. With an upgrade I want anyways. Maybe I should just go for that first, because this upgrade helps us generate a lot of science at the cost of Hyperion. And that's pretty important for us, I think. The flat science boost is strong. Flat science plus science per population. You know. Well, I consider flat because it's not a percentage boost. They already have a lot of industry. They should have no trouble getting some important upgrades in the system. Yeah, so that's nice. We already have a decent number of planets. We should try and expand even more if all possible. Excuse me. I'm just going to wait for that to come off. Now here I think I'm going to dump into that. We can wait 2 turns and then pick it up. And during that time we can also invest in other colonies with that dust, so I think that's okay. Actually invest next turn, my bad. Close enough, yeah. Close enough. What's really liberating about playing with Jade Onyx is that you can just colonize any planet. You don't have to worry about picking a strong industry planet to start on with. Let's check if there's any new curiosities we can find. Nope. Because not all curiosities are unlocked right away. That's why. I'm just double checking here. I want to ideally spread myself a little bit thin, so I can have like, maybe if I have a trade center here, and then I have all my trade exits like down here or something crazy, you know. Crazy, like completely. Anyway, the point is, the further away your trade route start is from your trade route end, the more dust you're going to make, the happier you're going to be, because that's all we care about. Dust, baby. You take away one thing about the Lumeris, is they really like dust. Okay. They're cordial with us. And we've got a new colony. We've got some extra influence, blah 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 blah. Now here we're getting the extra modernization. Again, Jade Onyx disgustingly powerful. And that's not lost on this planet. Now I picked up a Mediterranean planet. Maybe actually not the best choice, because Atoll planet would have given us a better industry base with temperate fertile. So much so I think we're going to pick up the Atoll planet right away. And then go for Xeno. Maybe go for drone networks first. Although the Atoll is almost like a drone network itself, you know. So maybe go like that. And then we can just pick up this Mediterranean at the end. Yeah. In a way, you can often think of planets as like better versions of drone networks or cerebral reality. They really are completely better, but also there are other benefits to picking up planets, obviously. Hopefully something nice, yeah. We got XP on ships. Great. That was yet another variation of great. It was like, yeah, really? That was not very impressive. Like at all. I'm just going to send this fleet over here. If the pirates are there, we'll just escape. But if they're not, if they're randomly moving between, we can just quickly pick up all these curiosities, which would be very helpful. And also, now I have the chance to undo my mistake with the laws. Let's get rid of Super Tax Act. Nobody likes tax, man. Come on. And let's just knock everyone back into fervent with either make love not war, giving us 15. But I don't know if 15 will be enough for fervent. No. So let's just get the toys for boys. Yeah. And here we can pick up an aerial planet. We can also pick up number of other planets if we wanted them. Oof, that came out unduly harsh. Nobody wants you. Shame. Yeah, I think this is a good choice. Well, either of these planets is a good choice, actually. The super spuds aren't something I'm really in love with, but you know, we can always sell them. They are worse choices. Super spuds is, I mean, ideally it'd have Luca mold, but like super spuds is a solid second choice because we're so dust rich that buying out stuff is not bad. Whoa, we generate a lot of titanium. A lot of stuff we can sell every turn as well. Yeah, look at how much we're kind of generating. We're starting to generate a ton of dust. This is like turn 30. And Black Tax Authority is not out of the question, actually, just to generate even more dust in the home system. Actually, once we start picking up these minor civilization homes, left, right, center, we can start seriously considering like just getting Black Tax Authority on all of them, and then we're gonna get like, I don't know, like 30. So 30 times n plus 1, where n is the amount of those minor faction homes we can pick up. So if we have like 4 of them, we're getting like 150 bonus. 150 times. No, 150. No, sorry, 250 times as much dust. Okay, I'm slow at maths. But basically, long story short, that's good. It's good for dust production. Yeah. Now, how many populations do we have? We have over here 5, 8. So even here, epigenic crop seeding is just kind of garbage. Compare this, like this. I know you can only get one of these, but this is going to give us 50 plus all of our main population times 3, so that's 15, 65, and this is giving us like 16, like at a slightly increased industry cost. Like it's just, and this can even get even better as the game goes on, as we get more system levels. This is just like intensive and epigenic, or just garbage. Oh yeah, it's playing Flawless Theory. When I played Endless Space 1, I just loved Flawless Theory. That's what I most remember about that game. I was just like, firstly enjoying myself, just building up my random empire, and just knowing nothing about how to win at the game. I still don't know how to win in Endless Space 1. But I haven't played it in ages as well, though, so yeah. But basically, whenever the songs came on I liked, I just loved it. I had an absolute blast. Alright, we've picked up some solid upgrades now. Let's look at how much the food has jumped. Like, this is pretty intense. Okay, no pun intended, but like, that's like, the 50 flat bonus is already more than a third of our food production here. So we should be getting new populations very quickly, which works hand in hand with our race's species stability law, which gives us a ton of extra dust per population. So yeah. I do want to get this maximized exploitation. This 10% bonus to dust or food is actually going to give us more than this, I think. Maybe. They're both mediocre, don't get me wrong, right? And this, actually we have anomalies on that planet, so maybe the science boost is like slightly better. Graviton research would be a bit better, but do we really need extra food on this planet? The answer is probably no. Let's search another curiosity here. This blue cap mold is very enticing, I will say. And we got some pilgrims. Nice. Pilgrims, speaking of Endless Space 1, pilgrims were a playable faction there. So losing 10 science at this stage of the game is negligible. And we get a new scientist technology in 20 turns. Or new technology in 20 turns. Or scientist technology is a scientist in a way. But, yeah, not a bad choice. I mean, it's probably going to be garbage because knowing random technologies, but it's free, so yeah. Well, it's not free. It's going to cost us 200 science of a bunch of turns. Yeah, it's probably worth that sacrifice though. Okay, they don't seem to be at the system, so I'm just going to take a gamble and bounce our Caravel over. Again, if an exploration ship gets injured or gets knocked back with retreating, takes some damage, it's not the end of the world. We can also end up on Ash, and just get some curiosities there, which is our future system, as I like to call them. Yeah. Okay, the academy is leveled up. Doesn't mean the academy's already been discovered. Yeah, we're just establishing a foothold on so many systems now. I'm very happy about that. Are we requesting from Galtur? We should probably request from Orm, because Orm is producing so much dust. Again, you kind of have to micromanage these things. Oh, sorry, it's generating so much food. Dust food, you know. Same. Wow. How is the outpost consuming so much? I guess it grows faster if that happens, but it doesn't actually grow faster, does it? This is very confusing to me. Let's go here. Yeah, it takes the same amount of turns. I'm just confused about why it's like that. Like, if it's not actually going faster, why does it take more? Okay, we're too much of... I'm too much of a pleb to actually afford this. As you can see, getting new outposts becomes progressively more expensive. To kind of stop us from just expanding every which way. I still want to keep the Blue Cap Mall because I believe. That's one way to describe it. Blue Cap Mall, that we can get Nis, we can get Taurus. In terms of picking up systems. Zenith this is not a bad system. Like, the Terran is nice. Actually, this is terrible besides this Terran. But the Terran is nice. Give us more super spuds. Maybe I want this though. This is also kind of terrible. There's nothing else that's really that enticing though. This is similarly, it has this one decent planet. Over this FedEx. Large steps. Yeah, this is actually a good planet, never mind. It has super spuds, Jadonix. I have no idea what the hell this thing is. I like the circular head thing. There seem to be like variations of weird birds on a lot of planets. Or things that look like weird birds. Let's put it that way. All of you alien biologists or xenobiologists out there probably were like, no, what is he talking about? They're not birds. Anyway. We've gotten all the things we really need on this system. Can actually pick up... As much as I don't want to say... intensive logistics might actually be good on this system. It actually gives us 20 food. Plus the percentage bonus. Yeah, so it's actually strong there. Weirdly enough. I don't like it, but I will accept it. Actually, at this point, epigenetic has to be decent. We're just gonna have enough population that this is gonna actually get us some value. As you can see, the outposts really stunt our growth, though. Very unfortunate. Maybe we could just siphon from Lyra and just grow our main system. Because it seems like they take away a ton more from our main population. Or main... Yeah, they take away so much more from Orm, like, in terms of raw industry, raw food. So much more food is lost in that way. So I kind of just want our main system to grow. Yeah, and also this Black Text Authority is nice wherever we can pick it up. I do wish there was a tab which let you know how many systems were at which level, so you don't have to micromanage that. Like, the way I do it currently is I just bounce through them like some sort of like obsessive person. But yeah. Hopefully this assistance, or this quest, is going to be easy. I mean, just dumping some dust into them to get them bonus, to get some bonus dust and science production from them is not a terrible decision, right? You're not risking too much. I thought I'd end the turn for some reason. This is quest there, obviously. That's what I was thinking of going there. So you're never actually losing too much by doing those things. You're always guaranteed to get a little bit out of it. But obviously there are more productive things we could be doing for dust. Oh no. No. Not like this. They're right there! Oh no. Okay. So I guess it's good that you can't see me like putting my hands in my face right now. So the one thing I mentioned at the start of this playthrough was that I didn't want to meet Cravers, and as luck would have it, we're apparently right next to a Craver outpost, which means Cravers like have to be down here or something. I don't know where they came from, but Cravers are like the most scary thing for us because we're an entirely or largely economic faction. So the way I like to play economic factions is to be as greedy as possible, skimp on warfare. And generally warfare is not going to be as good for us as building up our economy. But in this case, if we're next to Cravers, at some point we're going to have to either give them dust tributes or like try and fight them. So let me think about what to do with that quest later. And think about what to do with this or Craver neighbor later, while I try and pick up these extra minor faction systems. But yeah, this is deeply unfortunate. I should definitely ally myself with yellow, although yellow is not doing too hot. Mostly because I intruded upon their space, like a boss. So yeah, that is. I mean, I shouldn't say like a boss. My newfound confidence will probably like crumble as soon as I've sort of put to the test and have to face the Cravers. Yeah, so we have. I was feeling before that we were basically sailing smoothly through this game, but we have hit a snag, and this is definitely a real game now for me. I have to make a lot of decisions about how I want to approach this situation with the deadliest neighbors for us. The deadliest neighbors for pacifists, because they're the only faction that right thing rule forcing peace doesn't work on. And yeah, let's see how that turns out in the next episodes. So, oh, by the way, I can search these curiosities. Might as well do it now. But once I've searched those curiosities, got an extra population, got Hyperion, got some science, and also a fuel for symmetry. That's a good thing to have in the system. Anyway, so yeah, things just got interesting with my neighbors potentially wanting to eat me. And well, this neighbor is doing very poorly, but you know, okay, doesn't really matter. We're next to the most powerful and most dangerous faction, and let's see how that turns out in the next episodes. So initially, I guess I was skeptical about playing this faction. I hadn't won with them, and I felt like, you know, I wasn't doing that great because I often spawned next to the Cravers precisely. But maybe this is the time for me to redeem myself and maybe show off some of the ferocity hidden in the sort of mafia faction. So yeah, thanks for joining me for another session of Lumeris on This Space 2. I hope you liked the video and learned something. And if you did, please consider subscribing to help out my channel, and also, you know, validate my fragile self-esteem, etc., etc. As usual, these videos are really fun to make, and I really do hope that, and also educational for me, and I really do hope that that applies to you as well. So thanks again, and see you next time.